In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to sew your 8 pieces panel gown, okay, with the armhole princess bustier. And the icing on the cake is this: I'm going to be showing you how to sew a perfect inseam finishing. Okay, so stick around me till the end of this video. Hi soulmates, you're welcome to the second part of our 8 pieces panel gown. Okay, so in this video we are going to be continuing from where we stopped. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut out my pattern pieces. I've gone ahead to transfer my pattern pieces to fabric. Okay, and like I've told us earlier on, the center front is going to be cut in two. Okay, I'm going to be adding half inch sewing allowance all around. Okay, so this is the center front. So whatever, and I went ahead to add a little form of structure, that is wording, to the lining. Okay, then I went ahead to also add wording. At the end of the day, when I'm done sewing the center front, I am going to be adding my wording to it as well. Okay, so remember what I said, the center front, I added half inch to the center front. Okay, and we are going to I added half inch to the center front, and we are going to sew the center front first with a half inch before we add our wording. Okay, so let's do that now, and I will show you what next to do after this. So mates, I've gone ahead to sew the center front, and I've also went ahead to add paper stay, okay, to give it a little structure. Okay, because the material is very light, but at this point it's very optional. Okay, so, and I went ahead to add like 3 layers of wording, but please, I discovered that after adding like 3 or 4 layers of wording, it became so thick. Okay, so you can add like 2 layers of wording, is fine. Okay, so that is it. And after joining the center front, I've already gone ahead to add my my wording to it. Okay, so now the trick is this: when you are making a bustier, please, your wording shouldn't get all the way to your neckline. Okay, because when it gets to the neckline, it makes your work not neat. Okay, so make sure that your wording is like half inch away or 0.75 away from your neckline. So after that, we can now go ahead and sew. Okay, so the trick is this: what you need to do now is this: make sure that you pin down. Please, pinning is very, very important, especially on this bustier where it's a princess armhole bustier. Okay, so that at the end of the day you will not end up having one part longer than the other side. Okay, so for the armhole, make sure that you pin it down as well. Okay, so the pointed edge should you can see the way I'm positioning the armhole area. Okay, so make sure you pin. Please, there is nothing like I'm a pro, so you don't need pinning. You need pinning is very, very important. Okay, so whatever you do to your main fabric, that's the same thing you're going to be doing to your lining. Okay, so remember, we added half inch for the sewing allowance. We are sewing the front right now. Remember, we added half inch as the sewing allowance, so you are going to go ahead and sew by that same half inch all the way to your armhole. So continue sewing all the way to your armhole. And the thing is this: when you are sewing the princess armhole bustier, you need to go along with the curve. Okay, you need to go along with the curve. So some people find it difficult to join the princess armhole bustier, but hey, it's not as difficult as you think. Okay, just take it one step at a time, and trust me, you will get it right. So I'm done sewing. Okay, so what I'm about to do here now is, like I've told you guys, please don't use like 4 layers of stay. Two layers is okay. Okay, because it will be so thick that your machine might not be able to sew through. Okay, so you can see how it is right now. So when you are done with this, so when you are done, make sure that you go to your pressing table and iron. Okay, open up all the seam lines. Okay, and make sure you can see what I did here. I opened up all the seam lines and I went ahead to iron. Please, ironing is very, very important. If you want to come up with something neat, okay, please make sure you iron. Like I've told you, the same thing you do to the main fabric, that is the same thing you're going to be doing to your lining. Is as good as that. So I don't want to make this video very, very long. Okay, so whatever I do on the main fabric, that's the same thing I'll go ahead and do on the lining. Okay, so we're about to turn the neckline right now. So what you need to do is this: like I've said, pinning is very, very important. Okay, and remember, this is a V neckline. Okay, so go ahead and pin the center front down. Okay, pin the center front down is very, very important. Okay, please, there is no pro because pinning is very important, okay, to make your work easier, and it will make it neater, and it will prevent you from ripping here and there, okay. So that is one of the major reasons why, or those are the major reasons why I love pinning, okay. So go ahead, and to make your work, the neckline stable, okay, that is after ironing, use, one of the trick is this, use an hemming gum, okay. And right now you can see that I'm using an hemming gum to gum my to sew along with the fabric, okay. And the half-inch sewing allowance I added is what I'm taking out, right? So take it gently. Some of you might feel this is difficult. No, it's not difficult. What I've always told my students, and I'll continue to tell my students, is this: if I can be here teaching you this, then definitely you can also do this, okay. So just with constant practice, with consistent practice, not giving up, even though you are not getting it now, just continue doing it, and trust me, you are going to get it right, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go and how well you can sew. So if at this point, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, let's grow this channel together, okay. Do well to subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification button so that you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Our videos will be dropping on the channel weekly, God help me, okay. So I've gone ahead to sew the neckline, okay. So use your hemming gum to sew, so that once you press, everything will be stable, okay. And I went ahead to notch the center neckline, that is the center front area, okay, so that once I turn, it will be very easier for me, and the neckline will be much more stable, okay. So go ahead and notch, okay. And if you have any bulk of fabric on your neckline, make sure you like trim it out, okay, so to make everything as seamless as possible. I hope you are following, and I hope you are enjoying yourself, okay. So at this point, we go ahead as well and turn the neckline for the back. Remember, we are going to be making an inseam finishing here, okay. So the sewing allowance I added to the center back area is 1 inch, so I went ahead to take the sewing allowance 1 inch, because I'm going to be inserting our zipper after this, okay. So go ahead and take out your sewing allowance there and sew from exactly the 1 inch sewing allowance, okay. And like I've told us, okay, to have a seamless finish, make sure you add your hemming gum whenever you are sewing the neckline, so that once you iron, it will be stable, okay. So like I've told us, go ahead and notch the neckline, okay. So the same thing I'm doing to the to one part of the back, that's the same thing I'm going to be doing to the other part of the back. So I'll not be repeating it, so that I will not waste much of our time and the video will not be too long, okay. So at this point, we can go ahead now, after turning our necklines for both the front and the back, okay. We can go ahead now and sew the shoulder together, okay. So I'm going to be showing you how to do a very neat finishing on your shoulder line, okay. So this is my front shoulder and my back shoulder, okay. So you can see the way I'm turning it. You are just using after putting the shoulder lines together, okay, the shoulder seams together rather, you use one lining, okay, to turn it. I hope you get it. I hope you get it, okay. So you use one line to cross over, and you are going to be sewing by 1/2 of an inch. So at this point, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel, okay. So after turning before you might have turned the shoulder, please make sure that you've ironed your neckline, okay. So after turning the shoulder, you make sure you cut out your threads, right? Make sure you cut out your threads, and this is what we have. You can see how neat the shoulder line is here right now, okay. So when we are done, you go ahead and turn the second shoulder, right? So after turning the second shoulder and everything, this is what you should have. At this point, please don't go ahead and join the center back area. I made a mistake here. I remember what I've always told you guys: if I make any mistake, I'll definitely let you know, guys, okay. So don't turn the center back area yet, okay. So what you need to do at this point, so after you're done joining your shoulder, is to go ahead and join the side seams together, okay. Remember, we added 1.5 inches side seam sewing allowance, okay. So that is what we are going to be taking out, okay. But if you are not sure of your measurement, as for me, I'm very sure of my measurement. If you are not sure of your measurement, you can go ahead and just cross check, okay. The major points of focus you are going to cross check is just your bust measurement and your waist measurement. Those are the major measurement that you need to cross check, okay. So at this point, make sure you pin down. Pinning is very important. Like I've told you, pinning is very, very important. Okay, so whatever I do to the side seam, okay, this, remember we are going to be doing the inseam finishing, right? So you are going to be sewing the main material first, okay, and you are going to be sewing the lining. After sewing your main material, go ahead and sew your lining. So whatever you do to your main material, okay, to the main fabric, that's the same thing you're going to be doing to your lining. I hope you're getting it. Okay, so I went ahead to cross check my waist measurement, but like I said, it's not really that important for me. Okay, so my 1.5 inches is my 1.5 inches. Okay, so when I get towards the hip area, I will begin to bring out, I'll not maintain the 1.5 inches again. I just want it to kind of have that flare shape. Okay, so I'll take it, I would reduce the sewing allowance to like 1 inch or 0.75 inch all the way down to the hemline. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so like what I've said, whatever you do to your main fabric, that's the same thing you're going to be doing to your lining. Remember, we took out 1.5 inches as a sewing allowance, okay, on our main fabric. That's the same thing you're going to be doing on your what is it called, on your lining. Okay, so go ahead and sew your side seams together. I hope you are getting it. So remember what I told you. Okay, so I'm just going ahead on my lining, okay, and I'll take the 1.5 inches all the way. Okay, and remember that when you get towards your hip area, after your waistline, just free out your hand a little bit. Okay, so those are the major things I need to do. Now I've gone ahead to turn my size, and hey, this is what we have. We're almost there. So the next stage we need to do now is to go ahead and hem our down part. Okay, so this part is very optional. If you don't want to hem, it's fine, you can just fold it and just tape them out. Okay, but for me, I want to hem this part. Okay, so at this point, please, when hemming the down part, please don't sew the center back area yet. Okay, it's when you are done sewing the down part, okay, or hemming the down part, that is when you are to sew the center back area. So I'm going to be showing you how to sew this. You can see that I've already ripped off my center back area, so you're not expected to sew your center back area at this point. Okay, so go ahead and so when turning the your hem area, okay, you need to make sure that the good side of your fabric, of your main fabric, should be facing the good side of your lining. Okay, and all the seam lines must align. You can see the way I'm taking my time to pin. Your side seam of your lining should align with the side seam of your main fabric. I hope you are following, and I hope you are enjoying the class, or I hope you're enjoying the tutorial. Okay, so your side seam should, all your seam lines, okay, should align. Okay, so before you go ahead and start turning, please, sewing is not something that you want to start rushing. No, just take your time and you will get a very good result. Okay, so before you go ahead and start turning, make sure that all the seam lines align. Okay, so at this point, I am going to be taking my crinoline this way, and we sew by, remember we added ½ inch for the sewing allowance when we were transferring our patterns to fabric, so we go ahead and sew by that same ½ inch. Okay, now what I'm doing here is this: I don't want to sew the lining exactly with my main fabric, because sometimes all this lining, they can be, when they are cut equally, sometimes you might see that the lining will begin to pull out after you are done sewing. Okay, so I'm taking my lining like 0.25 inches away, or what should I put it, 0.25 inches higher than my main fabric, so that at the end of the day, when I trim, I'll not find the lining pulling out. Okay, I hope you get what I just explained. Okay, so go ahead and just so it's simple. It's simple, guys, but as you are sewing, make sure that all your seam lines, it's panels, right? So make sure that all the seam line align. Okay, and voila, we are done with this. So at this point, we need to top stitch. Yes, it's very, very important. Okay, so but this part is optional. If you don't want to use an hemming a crinoline, is fine. Okay, so go ahead and top stitch so that everything will relax. Okay, so this is how to turn the hem of your dress, okay, with a crinoline. Okay, so go ahead and top stitch, and after we are done with this, we can now go ahead and sew our center back, okay, with our zipper and the red and top stitch. Okay, so some of us will be like, the inseam finishing, what if you have any fitting issues. Okay, your customer comes to fit the dress and you're fine with fitting issues, but the thing is, one thing I love about instant finishing is it makes the inner part of your work very neat. But if you must go with this, please make sure that your measurement is correct, like accurate, okay, and you take your time. And so trust me, when your measurement is correct, you draft correctly, you will not have any fitting issues. Okay, so you've gone ahead to sew, you've sewn the to the other side, and we are done sewing, top stitching our crinoline. You can see how flat it is after top stitching. Okay, so at this point, please make sure you go ahead and ironing is very important. Okay, so go ahead and iron so that everything will look so flat. Okay, everything will look so clean. Yes, so now that we are done hemming the down part, what we need to do next is to work on our center back area. Okay, remember this thing is in stages, we are taking it one step at a time. Okay, so now the bottom line of any instant finishing is this. Basically is just the lining to lining, fabric to fabric. Okay, so here is the center back of my of it. Here's the center back of the dress. Okay, so at this point you can now go ahead and join your center back area, right? So what I'm doing here is this. I am taking my time. Okay, I pin down and we are going to be sewing. Just look at what I'm doing here and you will get it right. Okay, so make sure that the seam line is always on the same level. Okay, and remember we added 1 inch zipper allowance to the center back area, so I'll go ahead and sew the 1 inch zipper allowance all the way to where you want your zipper to stop. Okay, so measure the length of your zipper and impute the same thing on the fabric. Okay, so that is where the sewing is going to be stopping. I hope you are following. Okay, so I'm gonna ahead to measure where my zipper is going to be stopping, and the same thing you are doing to the main fabric, that's the same thing you're going to be doing to your lining. I can't, so for those of us that might find it a little bit kind of tricky or technical, it's nothing so technical, it's nothing technical. Okay, so if I can do this, you as well, that's what I always tell my students, you as well can do much more. Okay, so just take your time, practice is the key. Okay, practice is the key. Those people you see doing marvelously well today, they actually sat down and they make sure that they practice. Once they make any mistake, they go back and they effect that mistake and make sure that they are better rough than their previous work. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so do not give up on your craft. Okay, so just continue practicing and be consistent. Okay, work on your weaknesses, focus on your strength, and trust me, as time goes on, you will be, oh my god. Okay, that is that about that. Sorry for deviating. Okay, but I felt someone might actually need this, right? So the same thing I did on the main fabric, that is the same thing I'm going to be doing, or I'm doing as well on my lining. I hope you are no more, I believe you are no more new to this again. Okay, so when you are done sewing, okay, when you're done sewing the center back area, you're just going to turn it, okay, so that we can get to see how the inside looks like. Then we'll start working on our zipper. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and make sure that you take out all the threads hanging. At the end of everything, I'm still going to remove all the threads. Okay, and you can see the crinoline there. I'm just cutting it out so that the center back around the M area can actually relax well. I hope you are getting it. Okay, so just trim out all the excesses there that is making it, that is bringing out bulk of it. I don't know the right English to use. Okay, but just trim out any excess there and go ahead and iron. Then open out your seam lines. Okay, open up your seam lines, go ahead and iron, take out all your threads. Okay, so you can see we are almost there. The remaining thing here now is just for us to fix our zipper, fix our sleeve. But I'll not be showing you guys how to fix the sleeve. It's just the normal way of fixing your sleeve. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. So please, for every stage that you do, okay, make sure you go ahead and iron. Okay, so even the center back that we have done, go ahead and iron. Ironing is very important. For those of you that always complain that your work is not always neat, please make sure you iron. So at this point now, you can go ahead now and fix your zipper. Okay, so when fixing your zipper, for an instant finishing like this, you are going to be fixing your zipper to the main fabric first. Okay, so remember, so the sewing allowance or the zipper allowance that you added to when you were transferring your pattern to fabric, that is the same zipper allowance that you are going to use, okay, as you want to sew your zipper. Okay, and remember that this is an inseam finishing, so you are going to be sewing your zipper first on the main fabric. Please take note. Okay, you sew your zipper first on the main fabric using the same zipper allowance that you added. I hope we are getting it. Okay, it's not something difficult like I've always told you. Okay, so I'm going ahead to I'm sewing out my zipper here, so I'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, remember this is one side of the center back, so I'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Then I will show us how it looks like. Okay, so after sewing your zipper to the main fabric, you can now go ahead and sew to the other side. Okay, so this is what we have. We've gone ahead to sew to one part of the center back. Okay, so now let's go ahead and sew to the other part of the center back. I'm just taking my time to explain this for those of us that might be confused. Okay, so you can see the way I'm turning it. Okay, and for the sake of beginners watching this video now, so I don't want it to be kind of complicated or tricky. Okay, and for those of us that doesn't know how, or that don't have knowledge on how to do an inseam finishing. Okay, so I hope you find this video very helpful, and please give me a thumbs up. Okay, and don't forget to drop your comment, don't forget to drop your questions. Okay, and please, I need your encouragement. Okay, so let's take this channel. You can see the way I'm fixing my zipper. Like I've said, you fix your zipper, okay, to the main fabric first. Okay, you're going to fix your zipper to the main fabric first. Don't worry, I know some of you are asking, okay, how am I going to fix the lining to it when all sides are closed? Don't worry, just stick around with me to the end of this video. Okay, so just go ahead and fix the zipper all the way. So I'll just fix it now and I'll show you guys how it looks like. So we've gone ahead to sew the other part. Okay, so let's go ahead. At this point, we can now go ahead and sew the lining to this. Okay, so make sure you cut out your threads. Very, very important. Okay, very, very important. Cut out your threads, and that is that about that. We are almost done. Just hold on, we are almost done. Okay, so at this point, we can now go ahead now and fix our lining to use the lining to close the rough edge on the zipper. Okay, now this is the trick, right? So remember that all the sides are closed now except the armhole. You can see now after zipping it up, you can see that all the sides are closed, the hemline is closed, the neckline is closed, and everything. So the only way that you have to use to fix your lining now to your zipper is using your armhole. Okay, I'm taking my time to explain this. Okay, so you can see the way I inserted my hand through the armhole. That is what you are going to do. Okay, on your own, open up the zipper. Okay, then use the armhole. You're going to be using the armhole now to turn your zipper. Hey, it is not complicated. It is not complicated. If I can do this, I can actually do this, right? So in case for some of us, because I discovered that there are some parts that the camera didn't capture really well. I thought it was actually capturing. Okay, so I'm just taking my time, and I hope you understand this. Okay, so use your the armhole, bring out everything. Okay, you're going to turn it to the wrong side. You can see the way I'm turning it. Okay, take your time, turn to the wrong side. Okay, so once you turn to the wrong side, it will be much more easier for you to fix the lining to the zipper area. Okay, so just take your time. Like I've said, if I can do this, you also can actually do this. Okay, so you can see the way I'm taking my time and I'm doing this, and I'm taking my time to explain to you guys because I want us to be on the same page, right? So now the same thing I'm doing to this first part, that's the same thing I'm going to be doing to the other side as well. If you want to turn the other side, you can see what we have here. You can see everything now is on the wrong side. Okay, so when you do it correctly, this is what you're going to be having. Just take your time and turn. Take your time and turn. Okay, so sewing or fashion design or tailoring is not for the faint-hearted. So just take your time and turn it. Okay, so go ahead and cut out the threads. Okay, so for those of us that sometimes, okay, come across one zipper being longer than the other side, this is just the perfect way for you to fix it. Okay, so as you are completing the neckline, just go ahead and make sure that you measure up and see whether the two zippers are lined. Okay, this is just the simple way of turning your lining. Okay, turning your line or using your lining to cover up the rough edge on your zipper area. Okay, so like I've told us, you are going to be at this point, if you want to turn your zipper area, I'm repeating myself, just you are going to be using your armhole area, because it's only the armhole area that is where the opening is. Okay, so you are going to turn you are going to use the armhole area to get to the wrong side of your fabric. Okay, so the same thing you do to one side, that is the same thing you're going to be doing to the other side. You just simply use your armhole area to turn to get the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so at this point it seems like I'm repeating myself too much. Okay, so I'll just go ahead now and I'll show us how the whole thing looks like, but basically it's the same thing, right? So I'm done sewing, okay, the lining to the zipper area. Okay, so you just go ahead and turn just the way you turn to the wrong side. That's the same way you're going to be using to turn the to the right side. Okay, so this is how the right side looks like. Okay, I'm done turning one part of the center bar. You can see how it looks like. Okay, so yours should also be the same. Okay, so at this point, turning the other side is basically the same thing that you did on the other side, on the first side. Just use your hand and turn it to the wrong side, just like the same way we did for the first part. That's the same thing you're going to be doing here. It's as simple as that. Okay, so I'll not be showing you guys again. Okay, I'll not be saying you again, because it's basically the same thing. Okay, so just go ahead and just sew all the way. So once you are done sewing, you are now going to turn to the right side. Okay, and I'll show you all how it looks like. So at this point, once you are done, make sure you cut out the excess zipper. Okay, so make sure you cut out the excess zipper, then we'll turn it to the right side. So family, so here is what we have at the end of the day. You can see how neat the inside looks like. Okay, so for the armhole, you just go ahead and insert your sleeve. Okay, you can pipe the sleeve, you can pipe the armhole after you're done inserting your sleeve, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so please give me a thumbs up, and hey, this is the good side. Okay, this is a good side. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do it to subscribe to the channel. You can also share my videos. Okay, give me a thumbs up. I keep on telling you guys this. Okay, so I'll be seeing you guys in my next video, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, so see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.